everyone, I'm Kevin Elson. Here's a look at what's going on this week in the news. We begin with news from the Vatican. Cardinal Luis Ladaria, prefect of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, announced August 2nd that Pope Francis has ordered a revision of the Catechism of the Catholic Church to assert the death penalty is inadmissible because it's an attack on the sacredness and dignity of the person. And the Pope committed the Church to working towards its elimination worldwide. Catholic News Service takes a look at the Pope's support for an end to the death penalty throughout his pontificate.
Opposition to the death penalty has been a recurring theme of Pope Francis's public teaching.
Per quanto grave possa essere stato il reato commesso, la pena di morte è inammissibile perché attenta all'inviolabilità e dignità della persona.
During an Angelus address in February 2016, during the Year of Mercy, Pope Francis urged world leaders to end the death penalty.
Il comandamento non uccidere ha valore assoluto, riguarda sia l'innocente che il colpevole. Faccio appello alla coscienza dei governanti affinché si giunga ad un consenso internazionale per l'abolizione della pena di morte.
And memorably for Catholics in the United States, during his 2015 visit to Congress, Pope Francis spoke in English about the importance of rehabilitating, rather than executing, criminals convicted even of very serious crimes.
Every life is sacred. Every human person is endowed with unalienable dignity, and society can only benefit from the rehabilitation of those convicted of crimes. Recently, my brother bishops here in the United States renewed the call for the abolition of death penalty.
In news now from around the country, Cardinal Daniel DiNardo, president of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, issued a statement this week saying the accusations against Archbishop Thoedore McCarrick, a former cardinal and retired Archbishop of Washington, reveal a grievous moral failure within the Church. The cardinal said that Archbishop McCarrick will rightly face a Vatican canonical process regarding sexual abuse allegations against him, but the U.S. Catholic Church must take steps to respond to church leaders' moral failures of judgment. The cardinal said these failures raise serious questions. Why weren't these allegations of sins against chastity and human dignity disclosed when they were first brought to church officials? Why wasn't this egregious situation addressed decades sooner and with justice? What must our seminaries do to protect the freedom to discern a priestly vocation without being subject to misuse of power? To determine a course of action for the USCCB to take, Cardinal DiNardo said he convened the bishops' executive committee. The cardinal explained that this meeting is the first of many among bishops that will extend into their administrative committee meeting in September and their General Assembly in November. In news from around the world, after a month's summer break, Pope Francis resumed his weekly general audiences inside the Paul VI Audience Hall. The Pope returned to a series of audience talks about the Ten Commandments, focusing specifically on the command, "You shall not have other gods beside me."
Io ricordo una volta che ero andato a una parrocchia nell'altra diocesi per fare una messa e poi dovevo fare le cresime in un'altra parrocchia, distanza di 1 chilometro, e sono andato camminando e ho attraversato un parco bello, ma in quel parco c'erano più di 50, perché non sono riuscito a contarli tutti, più di 50 tavolini con 2 sedie. E la gente seduta uno davanti all'altro. E cosa si faceva? Il tarot. Andavano lì a pregare, fra virgolette, a pregare l'idolo. Invece di pregare Dio, che è provvidenza del futuro, andavano lì perché le buttassero le carte e vedere il futuro. Questa è una idolatria dei nostri tempi. Io vi domando, quanti di voi siete andate a che vi votassero le carte per vedere il futuro? Quanti di voi, per esempio, siete andate per fare leggere le mani e vedere il futuro invece di pregare al Signore? Questa è la differenza. Il Signore è vivo, l'altro sono idoli, idolatrie che non servono.
And finally in the news, the Catholic Daughters of the Americas recently held their 57th Biennial National Convention in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where new leadership, camaraderie, and sacredness were discussed. Patriotic memorial and vigil masses were held, as well as daily adoration and benediction. Father Shannon Bouquet of Human Life International gave the keynote speech, telling members that they are unique and sacred, and that in everything they do, they represent the Lord. During the installation Mass at the Cathedral of St. Joseph, 14 newly elected National Board members took their pledge of office. Workshops were held on many topics, including the challenge of planning for the future by encouraging a younger generation. The Catholic Daughters were formed in 1903, now have 66,000 dues-paying members, 1,150 courts in 45 states, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Guam, and the Virgin Islands, as well as Peru and Kenya. If you'd like more information, CatholicDaughters.org is the website to visit. And that is all the information we have for you at this time. I'm Kevin Nelson. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.